never done any reviews really on my airsoft guns, but I'm very excited to share with you guys the CYMA Platinum SR-25. And I've owned another one of these, the one with the quad rail, and I wasn't really a big fan of their M16 stock, of how their battery compartment was. Don't get me wrong, it's very spacious inside, but the port to open it in the back, it was very hard to fit a big battery into it. And I had to return it, and I waited for this one to get on stock. It's the 14-inch handguard model, and I really like it for this crane stock just because how easy it is to get to the battery compartment. You don't need no tools, you don't need to remove the butt plate in the back, so it's nice. But first things first, I'm going to be upgrading this gun later on in the future. I've shot it before, and it does need a barrel, a hop-up unit, and an R-hop installed into it, so that's something I'm going to do later on in the future. But let me tell you what comes in the box. You're going to get right here this plastic high cap that's windable from the bottom. I wasn't a big fan of this, so I went ahead and got myself the A&K SR-25 metal mid cap, and it fits beautifully into the gun. And of course you're going to get the gun itself, scope, and scope wings are included. Run cam is not included, obviously. We have these front adjustable sights, which are in my box, my gun, it came very stiff, so I might have to be removing those later on in the future. But overall, this gun shoots amazing out of the box, but is it to the DMR performance? Well, let's find out. And now I have a target downrange at about 100 feet. Let me turn on my run cam. And we're going to see how good this sniper, or this DMR, can perform with 30 gram BBs at about 100 feet. Now the scope has been zeroed in, but not perfectly. But we're not really going to focus on if I'm hitting the target dead on center, but we're really going to focus on the grouping. I have not cleaned the barrel, and the gun is completely stock, so let's check it out. You know, it would help if I put in the battery. And speaking for the battery, we're going to be using the Matrix 7.4 volt, 1450 milliamp battery. Let me first install it. And also this gun is an electric MOSFET. That's why you hear those little beeps when you put on the battery. And let me tell you, the trigger pull, it's very long, but it has a very short activation. I don't know how to quite describe it, but it's very snappy, and it shoots actually really fast on a 7.4 volt LiPo. But I have read in forums that if you do use an 11.1, it will overspin. So I think 7.4 is just right for this airsoft, or the CYMA Platinum platforms in general. But let's get on to the shooting. 100 feet, 30 gram BBs. You know what, maybe I do need to adjust the scope to get on paper. Now the scope is kinda, sorta zeroed in. Let's look at how that grouping is at 100 feet with the .30 gram BBs. So that was 10 shots, 100 feet with .30 gram BBs. Let's see how we did. Now here are the results of 10 shots from 100 feet with .30 gram BBs with the CYMA Platinum SR-25. We see here that we had a flyer right over here, and we had 2 shots actually hit the back fence right here. But all in all, that's a pretty good grouping right there at 100 feet with .30 gram BBs, but I know it could be a lot better right there. All in all, at 100 feet, it doesn't perform the best, but I see that this gun has a lot of potential really in terms of upgradability. Maybe, because I don't know exactly how hard the gun is shooting. It's advertised as around 430 to 450 FPS, but it does take a while for the BBs to get down range. even with that a little bit higher than FPS, even with those .30 gram BBs, I could see them kind of float over there. So most definitely, I would suggest a M140 to M150 spring. Change the barrel. It's not up to par, and I would change the hop-up unit. And even if you want to make it a DMR, I would really suggest doing a R-hop or even flat hop if that's within your budget. And even with the .30 gram stock, it's having a hard time lifting them. So I would really suggest, if you just want to run it stock, .28 gram BBs. But then again, why you want a DMR build if you're not going for range, but also effective range? I will say this, it is a great gun stock. If you want to run it with 30s or even 2.8s, nothing lower than 2.8s. But .30s, it's having a hard time lifting them and actually getting them downrange. I'm actually seeing how slow the BB is traveling at about 100 feet from here. And I would really suggest those upgrades. But if you just want to run it stock, 2.8 gram BBs, I see no problem. But if you have the money, if it's within your budget, barrel, hop-up unit, R-hop, flat hop. That's what I would suggest. And a spring change, of course. If you enjoyed this video of the SR-25, a quick overview, then hit a like, or also subscribe to the channel. And let me know if you want to see future videos like this of me just reviewing my airsoft guns, or builds, or whatever else I have in my collection, or if I make another purchase in the future. Until next time, I will see you on the next one.